What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Turbo John, and we're working on the race car again today. So, it has been a long week. Today is Saturday. We're 1 week past the $100,000 race. I just this morning got the race car out of the trailer. 600 miles each way, 600 miles there. Had a problem. Took us forever to get there. Went out first round, got rained on in the second chance race. And then the drive home, luckily, was fine. We didn't have any issues on the drive home. There was a little bit of traffic, but it wasn't too bad. It took us about 12 hours, so that's about what we were expecting. But Monday, I was stupid tired. Tuesday, we went and worked on Randy's car, so you should have saw that video. That was the last video. Got his engine out, and it had more damage than what we had hoped. So he met Dan at Raceflow Development. He met those guys at Rockingham last Wednesday. They've got the engine. So hopefully by the time y'all see this, they will have their game plan on what's going to happen. Quick rundown on what happened to his. Of course, the fuel pump went out. It didn't have any safeties on it. And it leaned out, which is bad. And it ended up torching the cylinder wall. So it's kind of a bad deal. Heads look like they got a little bit of damage, but not bad. It's going to need a sleeve and at least one piston. Once we saw that we were not going to be able to just bury hone it and put it back together, we went ahead and just stopped while we were doing it. Going to let Dan and them finish disassembling it, and then hopefully we'll be ready to go in a few weeks with his. So what we're doing to mine, we're converting it over to radial prep. Let me show you what we got going on. Big race this coming weekend, Rico Dragway, July 5th. They've got testing and another little race on July 4th, Friday night. We're not going to be there for that. But for Saturday, $20,000, as long as we hit 32 cars. Hopefully we got 32 cars. So if we might only have 16, I don't know. It might be a $10,000 race, but it's $500 buy-in. They're putting $4,000 on top of it. So hopefully we'll have a good time. I changed that. We're going to have a good time regardless. We're changing it over to Radials. Let me show you what we got to do. Comment, like, and subscribe. Appreciate it, guys. So there's a lot to get done in the next week or two. Fixing to go ahead and jack this thing up. Very simple what we've got to do to it today. Obviously, we're still in slick trim. Luckily, over here, we got our Radials. These Radials are still, they're still good. We got these from Randy. We don't run Radials a lot, but we're on slicks now. So literally what I'm going to do, jack it up. We took really good notes. Really good notes. Thanks to our buddy Beater Bomb Joey. He started encouraging us to take better notes. So we got some good notes where it needs to be, where we had it at Thunder Valley. It should be really simple, and that never fails, right? It should be. All we got to do, jack it up, let the rear end hang. Got to get the weight out of the back of the car. We're going to change the bar angles. We're going to change the back springs. The ride height is where we want it, but we do have to adjust our springs, our shocks. See how much shaft we have showing out there? So when we're on Radials, you want it the opposite. So basically on Radials, what we'll do is move that spring perch, move the locator up on the rear end. Once we get that moved up, then that will allow the shock to separate. We only have it's a 7-inch stroke QA1 shock, but we only let it separate. It only separates about 4.5 inches. So, it doesn't do it all 7. Like Randy separates a lot, but ours doesn't seem to need to. Take all the weight out of it. We'll drop the wing back down to get it back down close to the body. Should be pretty easy. Let me jack it up. I'm going to put you on time lapse, and we'll be back in a minute. Hang on. All right, boys, tires are off. Easy enough to get this thing done. But look, I got tagged. Kyle Office 1320 video. We were talking to him. Yeah. That's hilarious. At least it matches the car. It matches the car. So we got this thing. It's just funny. It's too funny. If you don't see it, you might not see it. But that's hilarious. All right, so rear end, the bar angle. What we talked about bar angle wise down here, at some point we need to change the gear in this thing. I got a 370 gear. I don't know if it's going to be this week or not. You can see kind of where our bars are at. We share a lot of information. You can see they're mostly parallel the whole length out. It does have, this is fully drooped, of course. So the rear end is fully drooped. So basically what we're going to do to put more anti-squat in it, we're going to move this bottom bar right here from that fourth hole down to the bottom hole. That's the only thing we're going to move. I did, last time we were out, we had the top bars up a little bit, but I think we'll be good there. The other thing we got to do, like we were just talking about, is I've got to move that up. The shock mount. Oh, I thought that was in the bottom. I mean, it's not in the bottom. There's one hole up from the bottom. So I'm going to move it up all the way to the top, most likely. So we got to get the shaft so that it goes all the way in. We got to take the shocks loose so that we can change the springs. And you do it from the top. Got Scarlet Solution sensors over here on this side. These TBM brakes are amazing, wonderful. Everything's a little dirty from the ride back in the mud, in the water. Got lots of doggone, like, luckily Austin, when he wired this thing up, Dragway Solutions, everything is nice and tight, waterproof connections. So, you know, that's good. I say waterproof connections and I don't have anything there. And the reason I don't have anything there is because that's my front shock sensor that I don't have. But everything else is nice and tight. So we will try to clean all that stuff up as well. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Change the bar angles. Starting to rain outside. So that little breeze feels really good right now. I got to work on the smart car as well when we're pushing up. Ended up having to slam on brakes and broke that. And it also broke the bumper. So I got to take the whole front of this off so that I can get that off and fix that. I never take the whole front off, I don't remember. Randy said it just easily pops on, so should be good. All right, let's move these bars real quick. Get the bars. That's going to be, right now we're at like, I think it's like 86% anti-squat. Moving that down on the bottom is going to take us to like 140-ish. Obviously, we'll change all the shock settings and stuff too. But yeah, I think we're going to be good to go. All right, let's keep working on it. Stand by. All right, guys, just that easy. The weight is out. 10 Soldiers rear end and low prep brackets. That rear end is amazing. Like I said, all I did was move that down. Put everything back neutral to where it was. Basically, everything is no tension, no preload. Changed the springs. That stuff was super easy. Put the 60s on it. So now all we gotta do is put tires on. Already got the tires over here. So swap those on real quick and then let it down and see if my ride height is correct. If not, we'll play with the shock adjustment. You got two ways you can do it. You can run the spring up with the spanner, or you can adjust it on the bottom. The goal is to have an inch or inch and a half, 2 inches of shaft showing. So that's where the spring is going to be. So if I can't get it where I want to move it there, then we'll just move it on the bottom. Hang on. All right, so it looks like we got it pretty close where I want it. Ride height is pretty low in the back, which is where we want it. So I went ahead and crawled under here, and you can see we have there's probably 2 inches of shaft showing up there, maybe an inch and a half. So the only thing we got left to do is to set the actual shock settings. I'm gonna look at my notes. Remember, we want this thing to separate. You can see we got some bar angle. Bar angles are always hard to see in video, but the bottom bar is going uphill, top bar is coming downhill. Like I said, probably 140% anti-squat. I've actually calculated, I can't remember what it was. So we should be good. All we need to do is set the shocks and we'll be set. All right, one last thing to check up here, and then we're going to be ready. Travel limiters. Remember, I've got this old style here. I've got it in the second hole. So we've tightened up the front a lot. Radials, I still want some travel in the front, but not all of it. So what we gotta do is we'll look back here, see the rear shock sensor is working, the front shock sensor is at 4.7. So literally what I'm gonna do, this is a Mad Racing wheelie control sensor. It's right there, laser ride height. And so I'm gonna just jack this thing up. And so what we're trying to do is just make sure that my wheelie control is gonna work. So right there, the limiter just went completely tight. So it's tight, pulling up. Front wheel is now off the ground. So those TPM brakes working flawless here. So now we can handle, remember the front left is gonna be up a little bit higher than the front right. So let's stick it up, let's see what we got. So wheelie control is now at 7.9 inches. So 8 inches, this thing is off the ground. So at 8 inches. So then we go into my advanced table here. All I'm going to do, I've already modified this, but I just want to make sure that it is not going to be pulling out timing real quickly. We want it to pull out. I don't know which one it is. Man, what would be nice if those were labeled. So there's my wheelie control. So let's go down. So right now it's got till 8 inches and nothing, and then 9 inches, 9.8. I've got it till 10. So we will, and you can see if I keep jacking this thing up, the higher it goes, the closer it gets to that wheelie control. So we're going to move this around a little bit. Basically, I just don't want this thing, I want it to pull some timing out if it catches a wheelie down track more than anything. So we can play with that timing wise and just say, okay, well, time delay to start. We don't want that thing to actually start working until 2 seconds out or 3 seconds out, or you can let it work all the time. It's up to you. But I'm okay with a little bit of wheelie, so we'll tighten that up a little bit. Instead of going 9.8 to 10, we'll say, I mean, right now we're at, go to the B screen here. It's at 9.1, and that's, I mean, a solid. I mean, it's almost slide my foot under it completely. So that's a solid 1.5 to 2 inches off the ground. So that'll work. All right, that's it. We're done. Let's go to the racetrack. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Switched the car over from slicks to radials. It's not too bad. I've done it over 2 days. Also worked on a smart car. Pulled the front bumper off of it, but there was another hole on the other side, so I just drilled a hole in that plastic bumper cover. So now my push bar, instead of being on the passenger side, will be on the driver's side. So if I break that one, then we'll replace the whole bumper later, and then we're good to go. Race car is ready. Back shocks are set. So we're ready to go racing. Rico Dragway this Saturday, $20,000 purse if we get 32 cars. Hopefully we'll get 32. Might try to test Wednesday or Thursday. Have not figured that out yet or not, but we'll be ready. So it would be nice to at least make 1 or 2 passes, at least to the 330, to make sure the car is going straight. So anytime I change bars, you know, we do the best we can to get everything back square, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, but sometimes it needs a little tweaking by a flat or 2 to make it go perfectly straight. All right, guys, comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see y'all this weekend. Later.